J. Sandy Roy went to Amesbury High School from 1921 until 1925. He was a three-sport athlete. He was voted best athlete for the class of 1925. After graduating from UNH, he came back to Amesbury in 1929 to teach. He also became a vice principal and coach, or all three, until 1969 when he retired. Beside coaching, he was an advisor to classes, and he and Bikes Wallace worked at the Parks program during the summer, giving young athletes a good foundation and a love for sports. Hall of Famer Leo Dupree said he loved going to the Parks program when he was a youngster during the summer. Sandy drew the kids in with his style and kindness. Sandy is a very deserving candidate for the Athletic Hall of Honor. Sandy was liked by anyone who crossed his path. How could you not like him when you read his high school yearbook quote, "All stars don't shine in heaven. Athletes first, girls next." For most of us who remember him as a vice principal, psychology teacher, or maybe a coach, have a great admiration for him. He had his picture on the wall of the Amesbury High School library and now in the Frank Lawler Auditorium. Helen Hoyt Kulick, class of 1942, told us that J. Sandy Roy was the best teacher she ever had. Howie Doan, class of 1964, said, "If it were not for Sandy Roy, there would have been a lot of students who would have never graduated from AHS." In football, he played all 4 years and led it his sophomore, junior, and senior years. He may be the only player in Amesbury High School football history who was named captain for both his junior and senior years. He was a standout athlete for the Charlie Broderick teams that went 13-6. Sandy was the leading scorer both his junior and senior years. In his senior year, he scored 18 times for 108 points. He was offered the head football coaching job in 1931. Even though he was intelligent enough not to take the position, he stayed on as an assistant. Sandy was also an assistant football coach in 1944, 46, 47, and 48. The 1949 yearbook staff wrote, "Everybody knows Sandy. He's been a part of the framework around football at AHS for a long time, both as a player and coach. As a rule, he makes it a point to shrug off all credit aimed in his direction, passing it on instead to the boys. We know better." In the winter, he played hockey. J. Sandy played at a time when we were at the mercy of Mother Nature, hoping for cold weather and no snow so we had some ice. We have no statistics for hockey during these years. He was the head coach for the hockey team from 1931 to 32, season that went 1-0, but didn't play any more games because of the weather and financial reasons. Therefore, Coach Roy maybe was the only head coach in the history of Amesbury sports who went undefeated as a head coach. It is said that he may have played some basketball and run some track in the town during this time, but we do not have those statistics. In baseball, he led both his junior and senior years and was a captain during his senior season. He was one of the leading pitchers his junior and senior years. In one game, he pitched a 5-hitter with 15 strikeouts in a 3-3 tie against Brewster Academy. In another game, he pitched a 10-inning game and had 16 strikeouts in an 8-7 win versus Kennebunk, Maine. He was also the leading hitter with a .325 average his junior year. The 1948 yearbook was dedicated to Sandy. In it was written this: "Few people realize the amount of time and worry the coaches have to put in to develop any kind of team, whether it be football, basketball, or baseball. Amesbury is fortunate to have at the head of the athletic department two such hard-working men. They are Tony Tazzaneri and J. Sandy Roy. No matter what kind of team is produced, they have always trained the boys in the way of hard playing and good sportsmanship. It is to these two men that this sports section is appreciatively dedicated." Congratulations to 2015 Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, J. Sandy Roy, class of 1925.
The first one is J. Sandy Roy. As you know, Ms. Roy passed away a while back, and we did get a hold of his family. His son has had a tough summer and was not able to make it, and then Sandy's granddaughter, Alicia, I've been talking with her. She was going to get stuff together. And then she had to go to Chicago. Her daughter got in a terrible car accident. So if it could go wrong for him, it did. But we will still show the video of J. Sandy Roy, and we will make sure that they get the plaque.